Hello, mobsters, and welcome back to Mental Mix. On episode 12 of Mental Mix, we're going to be talking about misogyny and casual misogyny just in daily interactions. Now, this is a topic that topics like these that are not necessarily controversial, but could get like not political, but just things that are very controversial to people, I usually wouldn't talk about. But because this is a podcast about mental health. But I do want to talk about this because of some experiences that I've been having lately that I want to share with you guys. Because I think that this is something that if we don't talk about it, it kind of goes unnoticed. And it is important to like keep that in check because of these things that have happened to me that basically shouldn't be happening. So, for context, I work as a cashier at a store, and my main job is just helping customers. And today I was at work, and and this has happened to me a bunch of times before, but I today was like the first day that it kind of clicked in my brain why this was happening to me. So, I was at work, and as always, a customer comes to me with something. They need help checking something out or returning something or something like that. And of course, I'm happy to help them. So I help them. The transaction ends, whatever. For example, a customer could be asking me if there's a discount on a particular item. I check, or if I know, I tell them what the discount is, or I'll check and I'll say, you have a discount of this much, or you have this many points. Anything like that. And casual little things they'll say, like, are you sure? No, because I saw over here, which is fine. Whatever. Maybe, and then I'm not gonna assume the worst. Maybe they just genuinely think something else. So, you know what? Again, I'll check. No, this is the discount. And then I'll notice that my manager, I have a couple different managers. Um, Two of them are men and two of them are women. So the ones that I've been working with lately, it's one man in particular and one woman in particular. So the one man that's working next to me, then they're like, oh, excuse me, are you sure that the discount is this much? But if my female manager was working next to me, they wouldn't ask her. But they asked the male one. And then it's just like, I'll be working and a customer wants to return something and it's been over the 30-day limit that they can return something. And I'll tell them that I can't return this, but we do make some exceptions. Like we can still take it. I just have to get a manager. And I'll go get my manager. If it's my female manager, they will stay there until, and they have the same position. They're both managers. But if it's my female manager, they'll say, I'm gonna stay here until this gets returned because these are brand new, da 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 da. But if my male manager comes and says we can't return these, it's past the 30 days, they'll say, oh, okay, I'm so sorry. And this is something that, even though it seems so simple, even though it seems so stupid, I notice every single time I work. And small things like I always get called like niña or chica or la nena, which like that's in Spanish, but it basically means like a little girl. Like the little girl said that it has a discount of this much. Is that true? First off, I'm not a little girl. I am young, but like I'm not a child. I'm not a little kid, and I've been working at this job for a while. I know what I'm talking about. And it's not just in work. I wanted to start off with this story because I feel like it resonates with a lot of people, but this isn't just in work. This is in a bunch of environments where it's just women with everyday comments, jokes, stereotypes, things that not just men, some women do too, that diminish other women. Like, because some of the customers that'll come and say that I don't know what I'm talking about because I'm just a girl are women. And that's hurtful. Because we need to notice as women that we're conditioned kind of by what we've been taught, that we're not as capable of doing things. That reflects in the way we treat other women, even though we would never like for somebody to do that to us. It's just kind of like this microaggression. Like, why am I getting treated differently from my male employee? I'm not even talking about a wage gap or anything. I'm not like speaking about like feminist things. I don't know much about that. And honestly, one of the wisest things to do when you don't know much about something is to not talk about it, because I'm not informed enough to give a position on that. I'm just talking about these small, normal microaggressions. Why am I at work getting treated differently even though I'm saying the exact same thing as my male manager or my male coworker? Not even at work, like at school. At school, if I'm a student and I say the exact same thing that a male student is saying, they're more likely to believe it because the male student said it. Now, I know I'm saying a lot of things that I don't have any sources. I don't have anything like written sources. But this is just based off of human testimony, and I know that other women can testify as well that they felt at a certain time in their life like impacted mentally, or their self-esteem has felt impacted because of the casual misogyny that women face in their daily experiences. So what am I encouraged to do at work then? Well, I'll try to come off softer. I'll try to say, oh, I'm so sorry about that you couldn't get the return. That's really unfortunate. And I'm not saying that I'm not polite to customers. I'm saying that I'm encouraged to be even more soft and feminine when I'm talking to them, because that's what I'm supposed to do as a woman. As a woman, I have to be kind, but I also can't be a doormat. I have to be confident and strong, but I also can't be arrogant. What? And of course, mental mix is for everyone. Mental mix is not just for women. Mental mix is not just for young women. Mental mix is for people of all ages. Men or women. Whatever. But I wanted to talk about this. Number one, because I'm a woman. Number one, that's just my experience, so that's what I can talk about. But number two, because it's important for everyone to hear it. Because we shouldn't live in a world where every single day we should have succumb to this. We shouldn't have to succumb to this hateful behavior. Misogyny is a form of discrimination, just like racism or homophobia or classism, anything like that. But when you talk about misogyny, people automatically label you as a feminist or as like a super liberal or something. No. I mean, if that's what you are, okay. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about the fact that people will put a label on you for speaking about something so simple yet so important. It's kind of why I haven't talked about this yet on Mental Mix, because I don't want people to think that it ties back to the idea of this episode. Like how I said that as a woman, we have to be strong, but we can't be arrogant. Like the same way that I want to talk about this on my podcast, but I haven't, because I'm afraid of the way that I might come off, because I feel like I might come off as just not rude, but how can I say this, like pessimistic, like just easily bothered by things. But no, it's not that I'm easily bothered. I'm just speaking about something that's important. So, with this, I think that we should create a culture where we hold people accountable for acting this way, for being misogynistic, even if it's a small thing like that. Like, if somebody says something like that, if somebody says a rude comment like that to you, just, hey, why would you say something like that? Just a simple phrase like that, because you're not being rude by saying that. You're just telling them genuinely, why would you say something like that? Do you think that's okay? That's a quick way to just snap somebody in their place. It's important in the policies also, because I started off with an example of my workplace. It's important that in workplaces, people set policies to stop female discrimination, especially if it's like coming from the company themselves and the people in the company. No, that's not okay. But if it comes from customers, it's a little harder to address because they're customers. But as an employee, it's not bad at all to refuse service to a person, or to just not call out like verbally assault, but just say to a customer, like, please be respectful. That's it. And that's fine. You're not doing anything bad in your job by saying something like that. But another thing that happens, this hasn't happened to me, thankfully, but I know it happens to a lot of women, where they're working and a higher up, or even like a lesser position employee that's a man, will say, like, do you know what you're talking about? Yes. Yes, I know what I'm talking about. Do you know why you act the way you act? I feel like I'm being sassy in this episode, but it's true. I'm not being sassy. I'm saying the truth. Like, basic behaviors that are so normalized are not okay with the way that people treat women. Sorry. I'm not even calling the customer that came in today sexist. Maybe they're not sexist. What I am saying is that we live in a culture, in American society, where misogyny is so normalized to the point where we don't even notice it when in the way we talk. Because I'm sure that none of those customers literally intentionally thought in their brains, I'm going to say this because this stupid girl doesn't know what she's talking about. No, they probably just thought, I'm going to check with this guy. They don't know why, but they need to check with the man, because he's the one who's going to really know if the discount applies or not. So yeah, that's what I mean today, is see if there's any areas in your life where you haven't noticed, because I hadn't noticed until now, but see if there's any areas in your life where there's different behaviors towards men than towards yourself if you're a woman. And if you're a man, try and look out for those women that have gone through misogynistic acts, and try to promote equal treatment just of women and men wherever you are, in the workplace, in school, wherever. I hope you guys liked this more reformative and humanitarian episode of Mental Mix. Not necessarily something mainly about mental health, but still very important. I don't plan on making many episodes like this, but maybe I'll do more political Mabel episodes. Have I said Mabel in an episode? I don't know if you guys know that. My name isn't actually Maby, it's Mabel. So I think I have said that. Anyways, I'll see you later this week on Mental Mix. I hope you guys enjoy this episode, like I just said. And bye.